In this podcast episode, Erik Prince, a former Navy Academy attendee and founder of the private military company Blackwater, discusses a wide range of topics, including the changing nature of warfare, advancements in drone technology, government surveillance, and the role of the U.S. military. Prince provides insights into the innovation happening in countries like Ukraine and Russia, where individuals are developing drones for offensive combat purposes. He emphasizes the need for the U.S. to prioritize AI drone technology to maintain its dominance in modern warfare. Prince criticizes the U.S. military for its lack of accountability and self-reflection, arguing that the country is falling behind in drone innovation compared to other nations. He highlights the importance of adapting to new technologies and the challenges the U.S. military faces in doing so. The conversation also touches on the potential use of drones for domestic surveillance and law enforcement. While Prince acknowledges the benefits of drones for situational awareness in certain scenarios, he raises concerns about their potential misuse by government agencies against American citizens. He suggests implementing laws to prevent drones from being used domestically for offensive purposes or surveillance without proper oversight. The conversation delves into the issue of government intrusion and privacy in the modern era, particularly in relation to data collection and surveillance. Prince expresses concerns about the erosion of privacy rights and the increasing use of facial recognition technology by government agencies. He warns about the potential dangers of unchecked government surveillance and emphasizes the need to protect individual privacy rights. Prince criticizes the lack of transparency and accountability in law enforcement responses to mass shootings and other acts of violence. He cites examples where information has been withheld or misrepresented and calls for greater transparency and truth-telling in addressing security threats and ensuring public safety. He also highlights the excessive spending and inefficiencies within the military, pointing out the bloated bureaucracy and lack of focus on actual defense and deterrence. He criticizes the overstaffing of generals and the focus on expensive weapons contracts that do not necessarily improve outcomes on the battlefield. He notes the lack of military history education among flag officers, arguing that many are not well versed in the lessons of past wars and military strategies. The conversation shifts to the current situation in Ukraine, with Prince expressing concern about the escalating conflict and the potential for a very ugly summer ahead. He criticizes the Biden administration for its handling of the situation, particularly its decision to send more money and weapons to Ukraine without a clear strategy for success. He questions the moral responsibility of policymakers who do not keep track of the casualties and consequences of their actions, particularly in a conflict where victory seems unlikely. Prince also touches on the history of U.S. foreign policy, particularly in relation to the Soviet Union and the decisions made after World War II. He discusses the shift towards supporting totalitarian regimes and the consequences of those decisions on global politics. He expresses skepticism about the current state of the Republican Party and suggests that a new political movement may be needed to address the issues facing the country. Prince mentions the Chinese Communist Party's involvement in Mexico and the fentanyl crisis, which is funded and facilitated by the CCP to move precursor chemicals from China to Mexico or Venezuela to create fentanyl. This deadly drug is responsible for killing thousands of Americans and is part of the CCP's strategy to undermine the West. Prince also touches on the Havana syndrome, a microwave weapon used to harm Americans working abroad, which he believes is real based on his knowledge and experience. He criticizes the CIA director for downplaying the issue and not taking action against those responsible. The conversation shifts to the CIA's involvement in Ukraine, where Prince suggests that the agency may be running Ukrainian intelligence services and potentially engaging in assassinations. He raises concerns about the lack of oversight and accountability within the CIA, leading to potential abuses of power. The discussion then moves to government surveillance and data collection through smartphones. Prince explains how smartphones and apps collect vast amounts of data about individuals, including their location, browsing history, and even conversations. He emphasizes the need for privacy and control over personal data, which has been exploited by big tech companies for advertising and manipulation. Prince introduces a phone that he and his team developed to address privacy concerns. The phone is designed to prevent data leakage and unauthorized access to personal information by blocking apps from accessing the camera, microphone, GPS, and other features. Users have control over their data and can protect themselves from surveillance and data mining. The phone features a kill switch that physically separates the battery from the electronics, ensuring that the device is completely turned off and not transmitting any data. Additionally, the phone includes a secure messaging app with a dump feature that allows users to erase messages and data instantly, protecting their privacy in case of inspection or seizure. Prince emphasizes the importance of using cash as a form of freedom and privacy, urging people to resist the trend towards a cashless society. He also discusses the impact of going off the gold standard and the potential for digital blockchain currencies as an alternative form of value. The conversation shifts to the challenges of operating in countries like Mexico, where government corruption and cartel influence pose significant threats. Prince highlights the CCP's involvement in promoting leftist candidates in Mexico and the rise of socialist leaders in the region. He also mentions the discovery of a large energy reserve in Guyana, which has sparked territorial disputes with Venezuela. Prince expresses concern about the decline of Western civilization values such as order, civility, and self-restraint. He observes a trend of civilizations in retreat and the erosion of open societies in various regions. Despite these challenges, he remains optimistic about pockets of normalcy and resilience within different communities. He draws inspiration from historical examples of special operations forces overcoming insurmountable odds and changing world history.